Got it? Yeah. Awesome. Me and my son Benny are here today, and we're going to take apart this half a pig. At the cafe, we're definitely family owned, so this is a family experience. And Ben had the fortunate opportunity to take a lot of animal processing classes here at Viroqua area schools, but it's been a while. He's home from college, so we're going to take apart this animal. What we're going to do real quick is just give a quick visual inspection of the offal, the organs. So what I'm looking for here is like any damaged spots, any areas of this liver that look like they might be subject to disease. And this one looks super clean. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm just gonna set this aside, and we'll deal with this in a little bit. But all that offal makes for good food. We're gonna take and remove this kidney. And again, nice and clean. This is a healthy animal. This is an animal that most likely had one bad day. So in true farm to table style, we believe that there's an ethical consideration in using all the parts of the animal at the cafe. And it's really important, you know, from the basis to our stocks and sauces, to different things you find on the menu, to the organs. We want to make sure that everything has a super delicious home. And one of the first things I'm going to do actually when I approach this is look for my first cuts. This is beautiful caul fat. So I want to make sure and use this because if we go to make sausage later, you really want the fat to be up in that like 20% range. Perfect. We'll save that. Right here is the tenderloin. And so what we want to do underneath the spinal column and right next to the rib cage is take our knife and gently run it along the base of the spine here, because we want to be able to pull out as much of that really delicious premium meat as possible. One of the things that's really amazing about processing whole animals is you get to understand the physiology and the anatomy of the animal itself. So as I put my fingers in here, I can feel this pulling apart and separating away. And that's a really amazing thing. So what I'm gonna have you do now is work your fingers and then the tip of the knife, and you'll feel where this terminates out. And you can kind of pull this apart as you get down here. Yeah. But what we wanna do is we wanna remove that connective tissue. Now, if you think about this, you go into a grocery store and you see pork tenderloins by the dozens. There's only 2 of these on every single animal. So while it's really delicious and uber beautiful, it's really, really important to take your time in pulling this apart with care and grace. Perfect. Once we have that tenderloin out, we can start to go here and trim away some of this excess cartilage and connective tissue just to clean up our carcass a little bit. I'll have you do that, Ben. While Benny's cleaning that up, I'm gonna start the process of removing the head. I'm gonna come in with a cut right along the base of the skull. Head removed. Now that we have it with the head off, I want to count between the 5th and 6th set of ribs. So if we start at the top of the animal, I've got rib number 1 right here. I count down 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's my 6. Between 5 and 6, the reason that we look for that spacing right there is that's where the shoulder plate terminates on the front side of this animal. So by cutting through at that place, we can ensure that we keep that shoulder roast or the Boston butt whole. And that allows us to braise that down and make a lot of really delicious food. I'm gonna snuggle up to that 6th rib, pull out. There'll be a little bit of resistance here at the bottom of the rib plate. And now that I have this, I'm gonna give a quick get through that spinal column. You can see right here, this is my shoulder. The picnic roast is up here. We have that shoulder and the hock down here. I can take all this, and what we'll do is we'll keep it in some larger chunks for braising down, because who doesn't like pulled pork? But what I'll do with some of this other stuff, the trim, as we go back to trim it up later, a lot of that will go into sausage. My family eats a lot of sausage, so I wanna make sure that I keep all the pieces that I can to facilitate that process. Next, I'm gonna start working on this plate. So for me, this means running my knife along the inside of the rib cage. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm letting the muscular structure and the skeletal structure work together to guide my cuts. This would be, if it was a steer, a skirt steak. Now I'm gonna come over in Benny's territory, and you can see this connective tissue right here. This is the ham or the leg. I'm gonna actually disconnect this piece right here. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna free up that flank steak. I'm just gonna make a real quick cut here to pull that apart. Now what I wanna do is I want to get the actual pork belly off. Pork belly is delicious. Everybody loves bacon. I feel on the back side of the rib cage right here, I'm gonna go and make just a very shallow cut. I don't wanna cut all the way through because I really wanna preserve that integrity. And now I'm going to come up and underneath. And let my knife follow that rib cage back. Right here you can see I have my ribs cut out. If I was cooking these ribs down like you would at a barbecue, you'd remove this silver skin, peel them off, and then get them on that grill slow and low. I want to take at this point and all this little trim back in here. This is all good stuff, so we're gonna save that. Now, because I'm actually gonna use this as a whole pork loin, I really want to take care to preserve this. So at this time, I'm gonna come in from this side. Benny, if you would, what we wanna do is we wanna get right under that spinal plate. So we're gonna come right along the fat cap, cut in, and then we wanna try and extract this loin out in a whole fashion. So I can see I've already cut right there. That's fine. What I'll do is I'll cut this into pork chops for later, because we're gonna take this one home. Now, once you get that up like this, that's when we can start to go in on this back side.
Yeah, and then you pop it out.
Yep. So what we can do is put a little pressure on there. Really run your knife through that part. You can feel how those bones, the rib cage stops, but you can feel the vertebrae right in here. So we can come in on this side now and start to work that vertebrae down. So we've got that spinal column taken out. I've got it largely deboned here. I've got a little bit of the tail, the end of that spinal column, and then of course, our ham. What I wanna do at this juncture is I can see the striation here between the loin, and the loin is literally that long muscle on your back. If you feel that there, that's the loin. So I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna come in and just separate those two. And on this side, I'm going to come in and make one cut almost straight down. And what that does is it gives me my pork belly, right? So I can clean this up. I can get some of these loose pieces out of here, and I'll use all that scrap for sausage and making good stuff, but this belly is great. Set this here. Belly, Let's get this loin off here, shall we, bud?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. How many animals did you take apart in high school?
3.
3.
We did a deer. I guess we did 4. 2 deer, sheep, and then pig.
Cool. We're gonna come in right over the top here. What we wanna do is we wanna remove this loin. Now we can feel right here is where those joints kind of rub together. So I wanna get the tip of my knife in that area. What I'm gonna have you do now is work your knife along here. You're gonna come into that ball joint on the hip. I'd like you to take that apart from the ball joint, and I'm gonna cut pork chops up here. This is where the terminal end of the tenderloin butts up against that ham, and you can see this texture and consistency right here. It looks like ham. So while I want that because this is the sirloin area, and you can make pork chops out of that, what we're gonna do with the rest of this is leave this whole. Save it for a holiday, maybe a Wisconsin Foodie taping. Something where we want a lot of that ham. We can grind that, we can stuff it, we can brine it. So many things we can do. I'm gonna take and cut some fatty pork chops here while I've got this out. Two. Three. 4. 5. Oh, I'd get close to 10 probably. 6. There you go. When we get to this part, you can see how this is all uniform one. Right here, you start to see a little bit of that sirloin creep in, and there's different intramuscular fat. That means that these end pieces will cook just a little bit differently, but that doesn't make them a bad thing. I like a little bit of intermuscular fat, specifically when it comes to pork. It makes for a really fun eat, and it's really, really flavorful. I'm gonna cut that little bone spur out. We're gonna knock that fat off, knock this fat off. A little sirloin action there. This is mostly fat right now, but the thing about this, if you really are adverse to the fat, you can quite literally run your fingers right along that line between the muscle and the fat. Again, we wanna make sure that this animal gets fully utilized. So being able to separate it out, if we were making lard or we were in that process of rendering lard, these pieces are the pieces that you'd find and you'd put either in a really slow heated pan, or you would take it and quite frankly, you could put it in a crock pot or a roasting pan. And over time, with a little bit of water, that lard will separate out. Let's come back to this. This is arguably the hardest cut to make. The thing that I can tell people about, getting this ball socket out is go slow. Don't be intimidated. You can let your knife poke around in there and do a majority of the work. But right now, we have this beautiful whole ham. And this will get wrapped up in paper and frozen, and that'll grace our table. Maybe the next family meal we get the chance to have together. I'm gonna take this bone, we're gonna use that for stock. And I've got my sausage scrap, which will cool down, chill, and then run through the grinder.
Throw the head in there.
If I point to this, tell me what it is.
That's a ham.
Ham.
Right here, that's a shoulder. That's the belly.
Belly.
Yeah. Tenderloin.
Inside loin, yep.
Inside loin. Then the pork chops.
Outside loin.
Outside loin. It's the head. Ribs.
Sausage. So taking apart a half an animal or a whole animal is one of those skills that you can do as a family. It enriches your entire experience. But for me as a parent, it's really important to teach my kid where their food comes from. So do you feel like today was effective in your exercise?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he
yeah.
says.
You betcha.
You betcha. Again, this is my son Ben. He is eligible for adoption, And it was good having you with us in the Driftless Cafe kitchen.
No, it would have made it so much better is if I had a fake beard.
If you had what?
Like a beard. And then they would have been like, oh, look at Luke Zahm's son.
Yeah, he looks just like his dad.